I'm very familiar with the whereabouts of Mexico. Ever since I was a baby, me and my family have been going to Mexico so many times for special family gatherings and other festive occasions. Up to this point, I've been to Mexico 7 times. From visiting Cabo San Lucas when I was a toddler, to recently going to Cancun to recognize my mum's cousin. All these moments were exciting and new to me. But, as much as I love my country of ancestry, not everything is sunshine and rainbows in Mexico. There is constant violence between cartels and corrupt police and government scandals being picked off left and right. I've always had a massive fear of drug cartels, especially Los Zetas. I would always hear stories of beheadings and other disgusting stuff that happened when the cartels would constantly do this to make people fear them. From my experiences, the safest way to get into Mexico always is by aeroplane. But when I was younger, we would go there by road from Fresno to wherever the destination was. And this road trip makes me feel sick today. It was December of 2006. My dad had been planning a family trip for us to go to his home state of Coloma, to spend almost a whole month there with his mom and dad, my abuelita Cuca and abuelita Demetro. At this point, we didn't have enough money to go there by airplane because it was just too expensive for us. Coloma is a small state on the central west coast of the Pacific in Mexico. It's possibly one of the quietest and safest states in the country you'll visit. My parents said that we'd be leaving and going by car. Back then, I was thrilled, since I was an eager little boy, but now, when I look back on it, my head screams out, oh no. We left from California all the way to the border city of Nogales, across from Arizona. Ever since we crossed the border, my mum and dad would always be scoping the roads for any sketchy thugs. I was puzzled by this, as I would see nothing so bad about this with my tiny child mentality. Anyway, here's where crap starts to hit the fan. It's been almost 4 days of us driving on Federal Highway 15, and we are in a desert in the state of Sinaloa. This highway has a notorious rep for having many muggings and disappearances. The area was controlled by the infamous Sinaloa Federation cartel. And to any of you who don't know, that's the drug cartel of El Capo Guzman. I've heard so many terrifying stories of his cartel's killings that scared me so much as a child. The hangings, the muggings, the beheadings. Ugh, don't get me started. We were driving our SUV really fast on this lonely stretch of road with 2 cars of my dad's closest relatives and friends to give us company, while we were on the road so long. Our speed was at 95 miles per hour, because on the highway, cartel thugs or members would be on the side of the highways, and they would be waiting for the slowest car on the road, and they'd either steal everything the driver had, or take the car and abandon them in the desert. And if you're wondering, what about the cops? Well, here's a little answer for this. The police in Mexico are almost non-existent on lonely highways such as these, and they almost never consider looking for us if we disappeared. Not to mention they get bribed by the cartel not to search for anyone they've killed. That's how crooked these cops are. So as my dad is driving fast, I start to feel nauseous by the speed he was driving. I was in the very back seat until we saw a truck along the highway, up ahead. It was a grey Honda Ridgeline with almost tinted windows, just standing there in a dusk desert. My mum was starting to become worried. As we nearly passed it, we could see a group of 6 men inside the truck. We embraced ourselves for the worst. I saw the silhouette of an assault rifle being held in one of their hands. We automatically knew it was a cartel truck. My mum screamed at my dad to floor it faster as the truck started to gain on us. She told me to get my little baby brother with me and duck under the car windows. I cried hysterically as the car engine wrung my ears as my dad speeded. Now, to those being in the situation, what would be better? To fricking floor the hell out of it there, or to continue on the same pace with the truck following you? I saw that the truck was still right behind us. I was panicking that the truck was going to ram us or shoot at us. The truck got closer with every wailing cry I made. Finally, the truck gave up and slowed down as we left it behind in the desert. We finally reached the state of Jalisco, where we found a small quiet town by the coast. We stayed at a safe little cozy inn. I hugged my mum, crying as she kissed me and said that the truck is gone, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Eventually I stopped crying and I went to sleep in the bed. There's my scary brushing with the cartel. Any of those who are wishing to go to Mexico for whatever reason, go by air, because you'll avoid the crazy thing that happened to me. To those who are travelling by road, I hope to God you make it to your destination safely, and that you're still well. And for those who have never made it, or had died, I'm sorry for your loss, and that you may rest in peace forever in beautiful heaven. Heed my warning, and gracias.